Alrighty, take two of this because my mic cut out on me again. I don't know what's going on. I think it's my computer or this fucking website. I don't know. But anyway, Peter Gilmore here once again on this Wednesday evening, back again with another video right here on the Killer of Demons 669. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down below. Subscribe to my other channels. Put it down below in the description box. And as always, friend me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. And share this video all over the internet. But most importantly, tap that bell. Turn on all my notifications so you never miss an upload. And YouTube can send my videos out to you. And that's that. All right, we got one view in the house. Thank you for coming in. I'm not going to do a long video. I'm just letting you guys know the missus needs to Skype. So, you know. So I'm going to get this done and out of the way real quick. So, and then later on tonight with my AEW review, we'll have a longer time to chat. We'll have a chat later on. But right now, I'm not going to answer a lot of questions. And that's that. And we're going to move on from there. Let me just get what I need to do. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, on this Wednesday evening, June the 24th, 2020, it is time for your late and out-of-date Monday Night Raw review for June the 22nd, 2020 from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. All right, Raw this past Monday was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty damn good. Another edition of Bruce TV. Bruce Pritchard running Raw and SmackDown. And the last couple of shows have been pretty damn good. So Bruce knows what the hell he's doing, even though it really should be Paul Heyman, but that's just my opinion. I don't know why Vince fired him. Fuck Vince. But that's all I got to say about that. And that's that. So we had some storyline progression as we go into Extreme Rules coming up in a couple of weeks. So had an interesting last segment. Had some title matches. Superstar got injured. And we'll see what happens with that. So we start the show out with Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion. Comes out and says that it's championship. Brings up R-Truth trying to offer the title up last week in that tag match with MVP and Bobby Lashley. But that was the past. He wants to look to the future. And then out of nowhere, Dolph Ziggler comes out. Ziggy comes out. And Drew's kind of surprised to see him. And we find out that AJ Styles has been traded to SmackDown in return for Dolph Ziggler and his tag team partner, wherever he may be, Bobby Roode. Okay, so we get that. Ziggy says no one is as happy to see Drew as champion as him. He would hate to see him lose the title before he got what he was owed. Drew's like, well, what do I owe you? Dolph says Drew has seemingly forgotten his redemption story. Since Drew was here years ago and he got fired, he should have been done, and he would have been if it wasn't for Dolph. If it wasn't for Dolph, he was at his lowest point. Dolph picked him up and brought him back to WWE. Drew came to Raw because of Dolph and became dominant tag team champs because of him, and now Drew's the dominant WWE champion because of him. So get that. And Dolph says he's owed the WWE title match, and he wants it at Extreme Rules. Drew's like, why would you want a title shot, and how are you responsible for my success? So let's look at it. It says since they split, it hasn't been smooth sailing. Without Big Daddy Claymore, Dolph has been on a losing streak. He came, well, mostly to Otis. He came from SmackDown to Raw, a 2-for-1 special. Dolph isn't untalented, but he's become exactly what they used to despise. Has become an entitled jackass, and the world doesn't owe him anything, but Drew says he needs an opponent, and he gave him a nickname, the Scottish Psychopath. But imagine what he's capable of. Does he really want the match? Dolph's like, yeah, I do, even though I'm going to get squashed and beat. So Drew makes it official, and it will happen at Extreme Rules. And that's that. And then out of nowhere, Nia Jax comes out in the middle of the ring, takes a seat, saying we should not break her and fall on her ass. So we go to break. So I gave the Drew Dolph segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. So we come back. Nia says it must be Monday because Charlotte got exactly what she wanted, whether she deserved it or not. She said she was cheated at Backlash and again last week by a crooked referee, John Cone. She wants to know where the fairness is. Then R-Truth, somebody that shouldn't have came out, comes out and says Nia's confused. He's supposed to have a match against an evil leader of a ninja clan, Akira Tozawa, for his 24/7, 48/7, I-65 South stupid fucking Olive Garden title. So he says, unless Nia is the real Akira Tozawa and ninjas are a master of disguise. Nia's like, what? And he kind of takes offense to that. She's not in the mood. She says he's not in the mood to be okey doked. And then we see Akira Tozawa just pop up behind Tom Stupid Idiot Phillips and commentary. And he's like going like this with the chair, like trying to hump the chair or hump Tom Phillips. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then the ninjas surround the ring. Somehow R-Truth gets away and runs through the crowd. And that was that. And Nia's pissed. And she said she isn't leaving this chair until, and then we see, woo, Charlotte Flair come out. Another person that should shut up. So get ready for more segments with Charlotte. That's segment number 1. Charlotte says Nia squandered her last 2 title matches. She dropped the ball and she didn't get away. Now she's doing a big hissy fit. Nia said that Charlotte gets what she wants because her daddy is Ric Flair. So Charlotte kind of takes offense to that and calls Nia delusional. She says she is. Yet it was her dad who ended Asuka's streak, right? Yeah, it was really my dad who ended Asuka's streak and beat Asuka twice last month. Yeah, it was her. Yeah. So Nia says Charlotte hasn't beaten her. The one time they went 1-on-1, Nia dominated, and ever since then she's been building her legacy on easy targets and avoiding her. They both know the one woman is her. And then Charlotte gets pissed, attacked, and they have a big brawl. Charlotte moves her robe, and refs come down to fight, come down to stop it. Charlotte hits a big boot on Nia, attacks some more as the refs try to break it up. Nia looks like she's about to kill somebody in the ring. Charlotte wants some more. She's like, bring it on. But the refs stop them, keep them apart. And apparently, through this whole thing, Charlotte hurt her left arm somehow. Maybe when she was pulled away, she was trying to get out, and she like sprained her arm or something like that. So that's something to look into when she faces off against Ms. Asuka coming up in a little bit. So we'll see what happens with that. So I give that little segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. So maybe we're getting a Charlotte Nia Jax feud, a pointless feud that I don't care about. But it is what it is, and we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. All right, then we go to backstage with the Street Profits. They say that the series will end between them and the Viking Raiders. It all comes down to the title match. And the Viking Raiders need to know that. And then the Viking Raiders come in. Eric says he heard his name and wonders what the message is. The Viking Profits are not the now. They aren't for life. They're forever. Okay. They became friends through the whole thing. They do a little jingle showing unity. Not that I give 2 shits. But even though they're friends, when the bell rings, it's on. They've been chasing the Viking Raiders since the jump, and they'll do what it takes to get the W. So the Viking Raiders say there's nothing that's going to stop them from getting the gold back, and so bring the smoke. And then Ivar says they'll see the Street Profits in the ring, fam. Okay. So that was that. So we're going to see what the tag team titles in a little bit. And just see what happens. And that's all I got to say about that. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5, and that's that. So everybody walks out of frame, and in comes Zelina Vega with a really crazy idea. I have no idea what it is, so we'll see what happens with that, and that's that. All right, we go to commercial. We come back with match number 1 for the tag team belts. The only 2 teams in the freaking division, the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, and it was a pretty decent match. Not great, but it was what it was. Ivar and Angelo Dawkins start off, and Dawkins shows some boosties. I don't know what the fuck that was. Then they you smash together like cars and nobody moves. Ivar dodges a kick, hits one to the face, tags in Eric, and then Douglas comes back, hits a hard right, tags in Montez Ford, hits the ropes, hops over Eric, flips over, hops again, and hits a beautiful drop kick to Eric. And he's just a ball of fire, that Montez Ford. Must be because he's with Bianca Belair, wherever she may be. But that's another story for another time. Then he does a dive over the top rope, lands on the shoulders of Eric. Eric holds him and sends him into the running Angelo Dawkins via like a throw, like a power throw, like a power bomb. So both men are down. We go to break. Come back. Ivar hits a right hand in the corner, attacks in Eric, and he whips Ivar in the Montez Ford. Ford hops over, rolls under, attacks in Angelo Dawkins with a clothesline, then a spinning splash on Ivar, and hitting a spinning hit to Eric. Hits a drop kick to Ivar, then a bulldog to Eric. Tags in Montez Ford. Dawkins holds up Ivar, then they hit the Viking Experience. Ooh, interesting. Somebody stealing moves. So breaks up the pin. Ivar is then on the apron. Ford grabs Eric, lifts, sticks his tongue out, gets blocked by Eric. Tags in Ivar, hits a right springboard elbow to Montez Ford, knocks Dawkins off the apron. Then he does a cartwheel. From Ford does a cartwheel, then Ivar does a cartwheel, and then Ford hits an enziguri to Ivar. Big boot to Ford, and then Angelo Dawkins comes in. Eric tags in. Eric with a cartwheel, same for Angelo Dawkins, and then we have a big cartwheel party. Everybody's doing fucking cartwheels. We're in the circus. Fucking shit, man! I can't believe it. Just fucking shit. And Eric lifts Dawkins sideways. Ivar sits Montez on Dawkins. Eric lifts, slams, tags in Ivar, heads to the top rope, goes for a splash but missed. And then Dawkins hits the cash out, whatever that is, and tags in Montez Ford, goes up top, hits a. And after Dawkins speared Eric, Montez Ford jumped about 35 feet in the air. Like it was boom. With the 10-star frog splash or whatever you want to call it, covers for the 1, 2, 3, and the Street Profits once again retain the tag team belts, and that's all I gotta say about it. So not a bad match from these two teams that are only left in the tag team division. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Wasn't that bad. Afterwards, they hug, raise each other's hands in the ring, more mutual respect. And then as the Viking Raiders leave, and the Street Profits are about to celebrate with the crowd, in come Andrade and Angel Garza. They beat the crap out of the Street Profits a bit, and then the Viking Raiders return to save them, and that's that. So I guess we have a new tag team coming into the tag team title picture, and that's Angel Garza and Andrade. You know, once bitter were friends, then they kind of argued a little bit. They were at each other's throats. And so everything's like, you're better fighting with each other than fighting yourselves. So she kind of like knocked some sense into their heads. And now they're on the same page. And we'll see if they go for the tag team belts and maybe win them. I think they might win them, but, you know, it'll be fresh and new. We'll see what happens with that. And that's that. And that's it. All right, there we go. Backstage with the Monday Night Messiah. Seth Rollins staring into nothing. I fade away and classify myself as obsolete. Obsolete. No, he's not fading away. But we see Austin Theory and Murphy come in. They say they have been thinking, but Seth kind of stops them, and then he says he's got a message, and all will be revealed. Ooh. I wonder what that could be, but we'll see what happens with that. So I give that 2 out of 5 stars. So we remain with Seth, saying sometimes in life we are destined for roles beyond our choices. He didn't choose to be a Messiah, just like Ray didn't choose to be a sacrifice. He has embraced and accepted his role in the greater good, while Ray has been defiant, and defiance breeds suffering. And the saddest part in all of it is that he's allowed his son Dominic to get involved. Seth wants him to know that whatever becomes of Ray or his son, from this point forward, it's on Ray. And the guilt that Ray will have, guilt will Ray at the harbor. Of course, the greater good is coming for us all, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Whatever the greater good is, I have no idea. He's heard it said that legends never die, but they sure as hell can outlive their welcome. So the ever-growing Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Dominic, Murphy, Austin Theory stuff continues on. We'll see what happens in the main in the final segment later on in the night, because Rey Mysterio is in the building, and we'll see what's with that. And that's pretty much it is what it is, and that's that. We'll get to the chat in a little bit, and that's that. All right, then we go back with Charlie Caruso, my favorite interviewer of all time. She's with, well, next to Mean Gene Okerlund, of course. She's with Charlotte Flair, and her arm is taped up. That's not good. She says it will be just fine holding up the title, and then she walks away. Then she sees Zelina Vega out of the corner of her eye, walks up, says hello to Andrade and Angel Garza, because she's still smitten with Angel Garza. Why can't they just put them together and fuck the shit out of each other? Please? Jesus Christ. Get rid of Zelina Vega with Angel Garza. Put Angel Garza and Charlie into like a romantic thing. Just do it already. I'm getting sick of it every fucking week. They get smitten and nothing happens. That's that. But she says hello to Andrade and Angel, but not to Zelina Vega. Says it was surprising seeing them act as a unit earlier on, but what prompted the attack? Angel Garza says when you know what you want, you have to be willing to take risks. It's like being with a beautiful woman. He gets super sick, and then he starts getting freaking flirty with Charlie. Charlie's about to come in her panties. Just do it already. Good Lord. So that's that. And then Zelina interrupts, says that all we need to know is that we are looking at a united front. They have taken their differences and turned them into strength. And soon they will be taking a common prize, which is the Raw Tag Team titles. And we'll see what happens with that. So, yeah, so not a bad segment. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And we'll see what happens with Andrade and Angel Garza and the tag team titles. And whenever they have a match, maybe at Extreme Rules, we'll see what happens with that. I think they will get the titles and then probably lose them and then eventually break up. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And move on from there. All right. Let's get into the chat. Let's not waste any time. Before we get this, I got to get this done quick. Let me get this up. Javier Alejandro Pansecatza, my good friend from Mexico. He says, I hope that the fight between Asuka versus Sasha for the title is the beginning of the rivalry against Bayley, and they will revive this story as a step in NXT. Yeah, I think it's going to be a step in that direction. I really doubt, I hope, and I doubt that Sasha gets the belt, because it'll make no sense unless it's a winner. It's going to be unless they do Sasha versus Bayley title for title, Raw title versus the SmackDown title. They do that at SummerSlam, winner takes all, and Sasha wins both belts and becomes Sasha Dos Belts or boss belt or double boss belts. I don't know what they're gonna call her, but it might lead to that. I don't know. I really want Asuka to hold the belt for a little bit longer and probably lose it to Shayna Baszler, because if Sasha wins it, I mean, all she's got is freaking Natalya, who's, I don't know what the fuck's up with Natalya and Lana. Lana's gonna be leaving soon anyway. Liv Morgan, I don't know what's going on with her and Ruby Riott. Maybe a Riot Squad reunion again. They're gonna bring back Sarah Logan when she comes back from her injury, wherever Sarah Logan is. I don't know what's happening with that. Nia Jax, against Sasha, I really don't give two shits. Charlotte, now that she's, well, I'm going to spoil it for everybody. She's injured. Well, not injured, but she's injured. She's going to be out maybe till SummerSlam or maybe longer than that. Who knows? Another contender for Sasha, possibly, if she wins the World title. But, I mean, how many times have we seen Sasha and Charlotte for the World title? We saw like a couple years ago, going back and forth. It was annoying, and then Charlotte finally won that damn feud. And I think in the Hell in a Cell match, but that was that. And another contender was Asuka, maybe Kairi Sane, if we ever see Kairi Sane again. I think Kairi's injured, since Nia fucked her up, but it is what it is. I mean, and then you get Shayna, So Sasha has some contenders. I mean, but you're gonna really build up Sasha on Raw and not build up Asuka when Asuka's gonna be on a streak right now. I mean, build up Asuka as this dominant champion once again, like she was in NXT. I'm not gonna say hold it for a year, but I'd love for the hold it for till WrestleMania, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Shayna will beat her before the end of the year, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I kind of think that's gonna lead to Bayley and Sasha, title for title. Eventually, they're gonna break up somehow, and then Sasha's gonna be jealous somehow because Bayley's been accepting matches for her, and she's gonna cost her matches or somewhere down the line, and Sasha's gonna get pissed and challenge Bayley for the belt or for both belts, and we'll see what happens. I don't know, but I think it's gonna lead into that direction. We'll see what happens at Extreme Rules, and that's that. Man, what's that? Cesaro went from being a cruiserweight champion, defeating Neville, to becoming a champion clown 24/7. Yeah, exactly. They made him cruiserweight champion. They put him in the freaking cruiserweight tournament. He was doing so freaking good, and then he brought on the Raw just fucking jobs. But he was in the tournament, did so well. I thought he was about to win the block, but then I think it was in the same block as El Hijo. Santos Escobar, whatever his name is now. I thought it was going to be against Drake Maverick and Kushida, which would have been a little bit better match, but they're making him like a fucking clown. And his best time was in PWG. That's all I gotta say, and a little bit in Japan too. But they're making him look like a clown, and they when I get to that later, they gave him the 24/7 title for I think the second time. Really, I don't give two shits. I don't give two shits about Akira Tozawa. Really don't. That's that. All right, my good buddy Nick Infante 92 is in the chat. What's up, Nick? How you doing? Ready for AEW? Yep. Coming up in about another hour. The go-home show before next week's Fyter Fest. Can't wait for that. Fyter Fest is going to be amazing. The card looks stacked with the title matches and all the good stuff that's going to happen on the show. And it's going to be awesome. Tonight should be awesome too. See what happens with Cody and the TNT title. I don't know who's going to face. I mean, last week he faced Ricky Starks, which is a great match. But we'll see what happens with that. A curious fact, the last time Charlotte surrendered was to Becky Lynch in SmackDown prior to the Battleground 2007 and last, by the way. That's what I think the last time Charlotte got tapped out was at Battleground. So, interesting fact, Javier. You know your stuff. That's pretty good. That's what I like. So I like fans that know their stuff. They don't come in here with stupidity coming out of their mouth. They don't know their facts and stuff. They just come out with really weird freaking opinions. That's that. Yeah, that's that. All right, Tazor. No, not Tazor. He says, "Why is this in my recommended?" That's YouTube. That's YouTube. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. That's YouTube's fault. That's YouTube's thing. If they see something WWE, they'll just recommend it. I mean, if it's AEW, they'll recommend my video. But it is what it is. I hate the WWE. Well, doesn't everybody? Everybody hates the WWE because their product kind of sucks right now. Even though they're starting to slightly get better. Not much, but that's it. But yeah, I mean, if you hate the WWE, that's fine. I watch the WWE. I'm not a big fan of it like I used to be back in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. Over the last few years, I've gotten sick of the WWE. This ridiculous booking of guys like Kevin Steen and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Aleister Black and all the guys from NXT. That's the only thing I like about WWE is NXT because of Adam Cole, baby. That's it. That's all NXT is. Adam Cole, baby. That's it. NXT is Adam Cole country. It's gonna be Adam Cole country for probably a while. I mean, I know he's gonna come into the main roster, but he's gonna get misused. Him and the Undisputed Era are gonna get fucked over. But if they keep Adam in the title picture and give him some good storylines and they book him correctly, same thing with Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, put him in the tag team picture, keep him there, give him the titles for a year. And then put Roddy in the IC title picture, or you put him in the US title picture. Give him the belt. If they have the Prophecy go to the main roster like it happened in NXT with all of them with the belts. Give Adam Cole another year and a half, almost a year plus reign as champ. That'd be great. But they're gonna fuck him up. I guarantee it. I suggest that Adam Cole and company just stay in NXT for another year or so. But that's all I gotta say about that. All right, let's get back to Raw. Asuka heads to the ring. That's always nice. As we get to match number 2 for the Raw Women's Champion, we have Asuka. Nobody is ready for Asuka. Suck my dick. But you knew that already. She takes on Charlotte. Pretty good match. Not bad. They lock up, and Charlotte starts stomping away at Asuka. Asuka's able to work over the injured arm. Slams it to the mat. Starts kicking the arm. She goes for the hip attack, but Charlotte sidestep, hits a right hand to face. And then she goes to the apron. Asuka grabs the arm and hangs her up. Ow. Then she has a running kick off the apron. Tries for a drop kick off the apron, but Charlotte moves, and Asuka hits the mat outside hard. Ow. And then Charlotte hits a big kick, rolls her into the ring, covers for a near fall. She kips up and hits Asuka with a knee. Goes to the top rope, look for the moonsault, but Asuka rolls out of it. Charlotte lands on her feet, rushes the corner. Asuka attacks. Charlotte grabs her, hits a backbreaker, and she sends Asuka into the corner face first. Ow. As we go to break, we come back. Charlotte's still in control. Some chops, some right hand, some more chops. She's in full control. Asuka then goes behind and hits a quick German suplex. As we see Nia Jax looking on from backstage. She's looking on intently. And then Asuka goes to work on the arm. And then Charlotte comes back, blocks it. Asuka blocks. Asuka with a kick to the head. Charlotte comes back with a big boot, and both women are down. And Charlotte gets up first and goes for the spear in the corner, but Asuka moves. Charlotte hits the turnbuckle. Ow. Then Asuka locks in the Fujiwara armbar and switches to the other arm mid-move. Charlotte has her fingers locked. Asuka's trying to break it. Not break the fingers, but break the hold. Break her grip and everything. Charlotte reaches for the ropes, and she gets the break. Asuka gets up, and Charlotte hits a spear for a very near fall. Drags Asuka to the center of the ring, spins, looking for the figure 4 into the figure 8. Asuka gets a 1922 schoolgirl for a near fall. Goes right into the armbar. Charlotte is trying to escape. Asuka gets the triangle choke, a modified triangle choke. Charlotte lifts her up, hits a set-out powerbomb, but Asuka still has the move, still has the triangle locked in, and then she transitions to the Asuka lock, and Charlotte tapped out for the first time in probably like 2 years, like Higher mentioned. But pretty good match. I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. So Asuka retains the belt, and that was that. And we'll see what happens with Asuka coming up. And like I said, later on she has some segment with Sasha Banks, and that's pretty much it. Let me see that's it. Okay, hopefully my mic does not go off. That's it. All right, then we go backstage with Charlie. She asks Nia if what she did to Charlotte had anything to do with the outcome of the match. Nia says it would be a real shame for someone to kick the queen while she's down. So foreshadowing. We'll see what happens with that. And we move on with that. All right, then we get a video package on Randy Orton, not his voice, his dirty deeds. We get Edge seated in the ring to talk about his future. Then we get a great Edge promo. This was probably one of Edge's best promos to date right now. He says that Orton tore his tricep completely off the bone, which looks, if you see the shots of that, but he kicked out, kept fighting. Orton would tell himself in the world that he kept him hanging around to prove a point, but that's BS. I think he said bullshit, but I don't know if they bleeped it or not. He saw it. He felt the panic. He was about to lock in the anti-venom, and Orton accidentally hits a low blow to the nuts. He says he saw Raw last week and saw that Orton is calling himself the greatest wrestler ever. He's like, so Edge is like, oh, put it on the T-shirt, why don't you? I probably will anyway. Whatever you need to do, because beating Edge means that much in Orton's world. But in his world, beating Orton is what he expects. He's disappointed that he didn't see the low blow coming, or that he didn't do it first. And that's not going to happen again. Orton said Edge lit a fire in his gut, brought back the Legend Killer, which is better off because I like the Legend Killer. He says the match, the injury, being unable to pick up his doors on Father's Day showed him that something's been dormant for far too long in his book gut. He says when he questioned Christian's manhood, when he knew he couldn't wrestle, then punted him. Mentions Christian's been his friend for 36 years. That's a long time. Christian's walked with Edge through everything in his life. When Orton did what he did, he put the PG superstar who had been walking around happy and ecstatic to doing what he loved to bed. For that, Edge is thankful. He woke up that side of him that will sink to any level to get what he wants, the ultimate opportunist. He doesn't care how many backseat bruises to step on to get to the top. He doesn't care about winning a wrestling match now. He says he's going to embarrass Orton, emasculate him. That's kind of disgusting. Make you wish Cowboy Bob was firing blanks on the night that Orton was conceived. Ouch. Damn. So, yeah. So, great Edge promo. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And we'll see what Randy has to say. As we go to Randy, Edge says when Randy comes home, his kids will run up to him, but they'll stop and ask him if he is okay, and he won't be. When Orton hugs Kim, his wife, and they can't look each other in the eyes, they'll both know what's coming. Orton has voices in his head, but would join Edge in the chorus, and he will be screaming louder than all of them. He will seep into every aspect of Orton's life and infect it. He will tear Orton's life apart from the inside, and Randy has no idea what he's done. He woke up the evil. He woke up the rated R superstar. So yeah, the rated R superstar is coming back. So that's going to be exciting to see when Edge comes back, which will probably be by the Royal Rumble at this point. I don't know when he's coming back. With his torn tricep, I think that takes like 4 to 6 months to heal. I don't know. I never tore my tricep before, so. But it's painful and it looks painful. If you tear it completely off the bone, yeesh. That's all I gotta say about that. So, like I said, spirited promo from Edge. He tells Randy to get some sleep while we can. And that's it for that. So, great promo from Edge, 3.5 out of 5 stars. And that's that. So, we see Randy with Charlie, and he has a question. Do you know what a snake does when it feels threatened? He says it bites, it strikes wildly, sometimes blindly. It would do what Mother Nature intended it to do, and it would do what it has to do to survive. He says Edge and Christian try and have the comebacks at the expense of him, so he strikes, sometimes blindly and wildly, but he would do what he has to do to defend his family and his livelihood. I lost my spot. It's Mother Nature. He sincerely wishes that Edge and Christian would reach a full recovery. He feels they could both live long and healthy lives as long as they do it far away from him. Then he says he has to go to discuss some things with Ric Flair. So that's that. So that was pretty nice from Randy. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. So we'll see what happens with him and Ric Flair. As Ric Flair was going to present him as the greatest wrestler ever. And we got that. So we move on. I think Charlie is with Charlotte, and she's not happy with what happened. She has her arm. She's holding her arm. And it says that targeting her arm is the only way that Asuka won. And then Nia Jax comes in, beats the crap out of her, sends Charlotte into the ring post of one of the rings that they have in the back somewhere in the Performance Center. Then puts her arm in a laundry basket and then slams the freaking thing down. And then Charlotte's like, she's not really selling it that much. So it's like bullshit. I'm fine. That's that. So, and then we see a doctor come in and check on her. So, like I said, it's gonna lead into a Charlotte Nia Jax feud when Charlotte comes back, whenever that may be. Right? I heard she has a broken clavicle, broken collarbone. So they kind of made her the arm injury like that. So she's probably gonna be out for a couple of months. They say maybe she might come back by SummerSlam. That's maybe a stretch, but I don't know. She might take longer, and it's about fucking time. As I'm getting sick of Charlotte. I was getting sick of Charlotte on my TV every fucking week in like 4 or 5 segments. It was getting pointless. But now that Charlotte's out, and by the way, thank you, Nia Jax, just sending. Now that Charlotte's out, now who are you going to build the division around? It's going to be going to build up Asuka as this dominant champion. Who else are you going to build up? I mean, you can't really. You going to build Natty? Probably not. Build up Liv Morgan? Maybe. Ruby Riott? Probably not. Lana? No. Whoever else? Kyrie? Maybe. They're going to have to build up somebody. I don't know who it's going to be. And that's that. Sucks. I mean, I'm not. I wish Charlotte a speedy recovery, but thankfully she's on my TV for once. That's it, and that's it. All right, then we were supposed to get R-Truth and Akira Tozawa for the 24/7 title, but before the match started, Lashley and MVP come out, and he beats the crap out of all the ninjas at ringside, and we didn't see that big fucking ninja guy there. Akira rolls under the ring, and then MVP and Lashley enter the ring. Lashley knocks on the full Nelson as Truth trying to go with the MVP. Lashley locks on the full Nelson, just starts ragdolling Truth around, lays him out. Then Lashley and MVP leave, and then Akira Tozawa comes from under the ring and goes, "Ooh, he's down!" He rushes into the ring. 1, 2, 3. Akira Tozawa becomes the new 24/7, 48/7, 7-Eleven I-65 South champion, or as I call it, the Olive Garden title. So yeah, Akira Tozawa, the champ. I really don't give 2 flying fucks about that. I don't care, and that's all I got to say about that. And that's it. That's that. All right, then we go to the back where Charlie's in the back. Natalya comes out of nowhere, says she feels so bad about Charlotte's arm. She says the women's locker room needs a leader. She says Asuka's not that leader. Sarah Logan dropped the ball. She could have scheduled an interview with Nat, and Natty says, "You could have." I had a big announcement to make. You could have just scheduled an interview with me because I had something to say, and then, but she said we're out of time, and she has to go to her match coming up next. So I really don't care where this Natty thing is going. I don't even know what her big announcement is. I thought that I care. Say about that. So get to the next match. We're going to Natalya, still in that dress she was from last week because it's taped. Comes out in the same dress with her boobs almost coming out. Not that it's a bad thing. I don't know what the story was with Natalya and Lana, 2 angry bitches. That's all I can say about that. So anyway, we get to Liv Morgan and Natalya. Yeah, this match was horrible. Natty hits a discus clothesline at the bell, goes for a near fall, sends Liv into the corner, and some stomps. She starts yelling at the ref. She grabs her head, she starts yelling at the crowd, and sets up a modified torture rack. Liv grabs her up, she elbows out and flips onto the apron. And Natty hits a shoulder to the gut. and then leaves the ring. Liv is able to get the upper hand, sends Liv. He's like, ew! And that actually worked in Natty's favor. She clips and she sweeps the leg, not clips the leg, drags Liv into the middle of the ring, and that's all I gotta say about that. So Natalya gets the win. Match I gave 2 out of 5 stars, and that's all I gotta say about that. And I don't give 2 flying fucks about that. Don't care. That's that. All right, now we go backstage with Charlie once again. She asks the Big Slow if he thinks he'd ever be fighting off ninjas. Show says there was a lot. He just came here to say hi, and the opportunity came up. When else will we get a chance to punch a ninja in the face? Probably that's the only other time you'll get that. So he takes a shot at WWE's comedy. Show isn't here for fun. He's here for what happened to his friends last week. Edge and Christian. People forget too soon. He doesn't know about fun. They forget that behind the fun exterior there's one heartless, angry giant, and he can do what he wants to who he wants, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. So he says that heartless, angry giant is going to the ring to talk, I guess, some more. And that's pretty much what to say about that. So we'll get to that. All right, so I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. What Show has to say after that. So then we go to the ring with Nature Boy Ric Flair, styling and profiling like only he can. So gets the mic. It says early in the night Charlotte was injured, and when she comes back, Nia Jax will wish she worked and lived elsewhere. She don't care how big or bad Nia thinks she is. That's that. So he takes a dig at Nia. As for Randy, he is the greatest. He says he punted both Edge and Christian back into retirement. Yeah, so calls him the best, and he wants to tell him in front of millions and millions of people. So Randy comes out, and his monotonous voice comes out with it. Rick calls him both dominant and vicious. Gives us the best performance. Gives us the best performance in the history of the WWE. Orton thanks him for the words. It's nostalgic that they're in the ring together. That calls them. They mention evolution. Sometimes the nostalgia can be confused with legacy. With Stamper, it was nostalgic when Flair showed that he's still the dirtiest player in the game. That's Orton talking. Also nostalgic, Orton punting Christian as hard as he could for accepting one more match. So basically talking nostalgia. He says he has decided to become the legend killer, but it's not nostalgia, it's cementing his legacy. Talk about that. And then the Big Show comes out and he's pissed. He said Orton glorified. He did. He says Edge and Christian are his friends and Orton's going to pay. He knew he was nothing but a narcissistic parasite since the day he met Randy. He used to respect Rich, who make him better because he lacks the self-discipline and motivation to make himself better. Orton doesn't care. He's a parasite. Edge isn't done, though, but he won't be able to get the satisfaction of taking Orton out alone because this pissed off a giant and he's going to break every bone in Randy's body. So Orton's like, hold on a second. You're not going to touch Ric Flair and you're not going to touch me. They are friends. Talk about 20 years ago. That Big Show took him under his wing. Stuff like that. He talks about his accomplishments a little bit. He says that Show's a future Hall of Famer. Some might even call him a legend. You get where this is going. One says it'll be tragic for Show to suffer the second Christian. Show's like, really? Oh, come on, let's go. Come on. So Randy leaves and he's like, where you running to, Randy? And that's basically it. So Orton and Flair leave. The Show is pissed. So we'll probably see Orton and Big Show at Extreme Rules. Not that I care about it. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. All right, I got to get this done quick because the missus needs the thing. So I'm going to put the women's tag team belts. We had Sasha Banks and Bayley taking on the Iconics. Pretty good match. It ends with Sasha Peyton locking up. Billie Kay tries to interfere. Sasha sends her to the outside. Sasha hits the bank statement on Peyton Royce. Peyton taps out. And that was pretty much it. And match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, Sasha gets on the mic and talks about Bayley. She kind of teases that she wants to become Sasha 2 belts. And we were thinking that she was going to face Bayley. And then at the last minute, she says, I'm going to face Asuka for the Raw Women's title. Asuka comes out and it says, you're not the boss of me. I accept. So we got that match at Extreme Rules for the Raw Women's title. Should be a good match. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Then we had MVP and Lashley talking. Apollo accepted another match with Shelton Benjamin. Apollo trying to get, MVP trying to recruit Apollo again. Apollo doesn't want to do it. That's that. So we get that. Then we get Ruby Wyatt walking up to Liv Morgan. Liv is super sad and says, not right now. Nothing has gone her way, and she doesn't need Ruby making her feel even worse. That's that. So I give that 2 out of 5 stars. Then MVP's in the ring. Basically wants to give Apollo Crews another chance and try to recruit him. Apollo's like, no. He said, well, you're going to help Shelton. You're going to send Lashley to the ring. Blah, blah, blah. And MVP says he's been champion about 3 weeks. Apollo tried doing it for 343 days like he was the U.S. champion back in the Ruthless Aggression era. Probably one of the best U.S. champions in history. He says he likes Apollo. Try to do this the nice way twice. They won't do it a third time. Whether he likes it or not, the U.S. title is coming home where it belongs. And Apollo gets in the face of MVP. Shelton Benjamin comes out. And then we get to match number 5. Non-title match, Apollo Crews and Shelton Benjamin. Apollo Crews wins the match with the spinning power bomb, Apollo bomb, whatever you want to call it. Match is all right. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that was that. And then MVP comes and tries to lift Apollo's hand in the air. Apollo's like, get the fuck off me. Tells MVP to keep his hands off him, but here comes Lashley locking the full Nelson Apollo, lays him out on the ramp. So it looks like we're going to get Apollo Crews Lashley feud for the U.S. title, and I don't give 2 craps about that. All right. And then we get Rey Mysterio and Dominic in the back. I'm not going to go into that. Basically it's like, we're family, this is bigger than Dominic is, and blah, blah, blah. And he says that he understands where Rey's coming from. This is in the ring, by the way. He's not going anywhere. So he calls out Seth Rollins. He comes out. Seth says that Dom and Rey are putting him in a very difficult position as he go down the ring and slaughter a father in front of his son, blah, blah, blah. He says 2 eyes are better than 1. Okay. Seth drops to his knees. His disciples come down behind him. Out comes Humberto Carrillo and Aleister Black to even the odds. And then they get in the ring, and everybody's in the ring. Dominic attacks, and they beat each other up. And the faces get the upper hand. And then Murphy and Austin Theory come back with chairs. And they start beating up Rey Mysterio and all the other guys and Dominic. Seth tries to put Dominic's eye through the steps like his dad did, like he did to his dad. But Aleister Black and Cooper come back with chairs of their own and chase him off, and that ends the show. So that was that. That's really all I got to say about that. So I gave that final segment 1.5 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And that's that. All right, I'm going to end the shop here. I feel like wrestling is fucked with what's going on social media. Yeah, the whole thing with the accusations is getting fucking insane. Fucking insane. I mean, even in the real world now, you got Ron Jeremy got caught with sexual abuse accusations and everything. And I think he's in jail now or something like that. It's fucking crazy. Austin Aries coming out and saying he's not a sexual predator and all that other stuff. It's crazy. But I'll talk about that later. That's that. I got to get the misses on the computer. So that's that. So thank you all for watching. I'm Peter Gilmore signing off. Raw gets a 6.5 out of 10 stars. And that's all I can say about it. So join me later for my AEW review. That's that. I'm out. Peace, bitches.